Everybody. This is Hale, and welcome to another stream this week. We'll be continuing the Ace Attorney Investigations collection, and basically that. Hopefully make some jokes by the part of it. This week has been pretty alright. This weekend was Yom Kippur, I didn't fast, it was just kind of boring and like a normal weekend for me, to be honest. Congrats to whoever fasted and who's following the stream. I know that some of you consider this stream a treat. Pun very much intended. It's super impressive. Last time we played Metaphor Fantasio. And I already said it in my Twitter, but we're not gonna continue it, not least until the game gets on, gets a discount on Steam, or I get it through an earlier means. But because right now it's hella expensive, ridiculously so. But we'll get through it. And it means a bit that my Wednesdays are getting clearer, like in case I want to do a different stream. Another thing that I'm gonna start doing, hopefully, is that I'll start uploading some of the clips I edit to my TikTok account. I talked with some SnowRuns, some mutuals about what's the best way to expand my go to the stream, and one of them suggested to me that I just upload my stuff on the Bird app. Now, to be honest, I'm not that big of a fan of TikTok. I feel like it'd be really addictive and a bit of a time sink, but the memes are good. And we do love our memes. That's enough yapping for now. We are going to go and continue onwards with Ace Attorney Investigations. 1 second. I'm gonna look for the game capture. And I'm going to change it to the correct EXE. And I'm gonna have to resize it because of course I do. Now that Wednesdays have cleared up, it means I have more time to do other stuff. Or stream different series. And we love that for us. We love a bit of variety. And we thought that Wednesdays could be like a variety hour. I have an idea for the upcoming stream and the like. And yeah, let's continue onwards and continue playing Ace Attorney Investigations, the collection. So, we're going to be playing Tournament Reminiscence. which to my memory is definitely my favorite case from when I played the game a while back. A long while back. And we'll be continuing it, and again, let's see if the game holds up. Let's see if it's still funny. Let's see if it's still fun. Episode 4, Tournament Reminiscence. Kay Faraday. A young lady who calls herself the Second Yatagarasu. The piece of cloth that she conjured up has taken me back to many years ago. 7 years earlier. Yeah, that's right. I did it. I killed the guy. But it was the great thief Yatagarasu that told me to do it. Objection! I asked the defendant, just what exactly are you trying to say? Don't you get it? I know the trade on of the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu is the man standing over there at the prosecutor's bench. Are you saying that I'm the Yatagarasu? Don't you dare deny it. You told me to kill him when you snuck into the embassy. Are you claiming that Mr. Faraday is the Yatagarasu? That's exactly what I'm saying. Objection! Mr. Rell, I think we've heard just enough of you. Your Honor, please listen to me. I'm telling the truth. You've gotta believe me. In accordance with the defendant's accusation, a new prosecutor shall be called to replace Mr. Faraday. This court will be recessed until the new prosecutor is ready. Recess? Okay, what do you mean by recess? Usually that, like, this is the kind of thing that, like, needs much more than a recess. Like, a whole ass day. Like, why didn't they adjourn the court today? But yeah, here is the younger version of Edgeworth. And Manfred von Karma. Who's looking very stern in this photo right now. To summarize, last session, last stream, we basically we solved the kidnapped turnabout. We found a true culprit, which is Lanzamano, and we also took care of his dad, who was literally bought away the real crime scene, so you won't be able to investigate it. Which led to basically Kay using her little thief to steal the crime scene back, and Kay tells the boys that you've known him all along, and now we're back to 7 years ago. It's almost time for me to enter the courtroom. And so, that is my first assignment as prosecutor will be. As a replacement for the prosecutor who has been accused by the defendant. That's interesting. Edgeworth. Here he is. The Fred man. Sir. Have you read all the documents regarding this trial? Now we're gonna do another German accent. But this time we're gonna do it with a bit of a lower tone. Yes, sir. I memorized everything there is to know. Very good. The paperwork for the prosecutor's submission is just about complete. Edgeworth, always bear in mind that as your mentor, I, Manfred von Karma, will accept nothing short of perfection. I understand, sir. To have the chance to stand in court at such an early stage in my career. I am honored and proud. As I have watched over your studies, I'm giving you this very rare chance Prove yourself. Crush the defendant's pathetic lies into oblivion. Yes, sir. There he is, the man, the thread of karma. That such legendary prosecutor would be watching and judging my performance. I have to be perfect in every way, which is totally a healthy coping mechanism because he's also my adoptive father. Anyways, before we go in, let's look around the crime scene, see if we can find anything. Let's talk to the old lady. Excuse me, madam, but is something the matter? I just thought someone would have brought hors d'oeuvres by now. But this is a courthouse. It would be quite atypical to provide hors d'oeuvres here. Are you sure? Someone poured me a fresh cup of coffee last time I was here. What the heck does she think a courthouse is for? I wonder who poured the fresh cup of coffee to her. Also, look at all the judges. They all look like I like how they are all basically look like the same archetype, but there's like differences with the beards and like the eyebrows. It's really funny. Let's talk to this guy. This is so good. I could drink a whole gallon. Well, you probably shouldn't. Your bladder will explode. Never heard of water tastes that good. Maybe I'll give him a minute. Wow, I actually did it. One sec. I'm just checking something. Okay. Gulp, 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 gulp. That's a lot of gulping, man. Does he plan on gulping an entire reservoir dry? Is it possible for like it to empty out? That's a question. That's a very interesting question. Are these great? Daddy made all these.
Awesome! But didn't you get fired right after you made them?
Wow! Wow, you should not be saying that in public, kid! Yeah, I did. I spent the same amount of money on this model as it cost to build the real thing. My boss wasn't very happy with me. So, to give you guys context, he basically used the entire budget as like the whole building to the courthouse. Which is really, that's an investment to be sure.
Hey, Daddy, didn't you say you built a secret mechanism inside of it?
I'll tell you about it someday when you're older. What is a secret mechanism? Secret mechanism? Maybe he installed it as payback for getting fired. It could be trouble. Maybe he put down a trapdoor to the judge. Now I'm curious. Model of the courthouse. It's pretty well constructed. Hands on face. Don't tell me that this thing transforms. I wonder what other purpose could it have made for. Edgeworth, that's literally the child. That's literally the child. Unless there's another face that I'm not seeing here, but man. I thought you were a big logic man. Luxurious and some beautiful leather sofa. I must say, every part of the courthouse is meticulously well kept. And that positioning of the sofa puts one under the direct gaze of the judges. Every judge in this courthouse has quite the beard. And has gallantly parted their beloved hair, I see. Yeah, equivalent exchange, probably. Being a judge must be a very stressful career. Let's talk to defendants. Gad, what a cold stare he's giving me. Wow, he's really speaking like an old man even though he's like 19. However, as a disciple of Von Karma, there's no option but to win. Wow, my boy is very karma-pilled. Von Karma-pilled. He's good! The power of its cult rival's my own! He's sleeping with his eyes open. He's sleeping while standing up. What about this? It seems like they... Ooh, it's the Thinker! That's a reference! What's a reference? The bookshelf, huh? Compendium of law for beginners. I don't have the time to read this and to second guess myself now. Oh no! Oh no! But he is no beginner, he's Edgeworth and he has to be perfect in every single way. Bulletin board. There's a trial schedules posted on it. Trial scheduled for this week, huh? There's only today's trial listed. This must be a mistake, or this country's judicial system not working as it should. And I think you're overreacting, Edgeworth. Anyways. What's up to Manfred? Today's trial should have ended in just 1 minute. Typical. Because the defendant was picked up by the security camera. Correct. Exactly. The killer has a goal to say that he only killed because he was instructed to do so. Even more outrageous is his claim that the case prosecutor, Bjorn Faraday, gave the order. So now we know that's Kay's dad. Ha! Faraday is such a fool. We can see where Franziska got the vocabulary from. He's been cornered by his very own prey. So, are you an acquaintance with Mr. Bjorn Faraday? Humph! He's a pathetic man who speaks of nothing but nonsense. Nonsense? Like the rise of Bitcoin and the likes of that. Other types of nonsense, my boy. He once tried to explain me a way of punishing those who cannot be brought to court. Those who cannot be brought to court. That is nonsense, for no man is above the law. Ooh, There's a character in Case 5 that will be very happy to go against what you just said, Edgeworth. Well, there is always a few exceptions. However, there is no reason to even deal with such individuals. The prosecutor is a guardian of court, one with no obligation to outside matters. Thus, there's no reason to deal with such individuals, I see. Edgeworth, disgracing yourself as Faraday will not be forgiven. Have no fear. I will not let you down, sir. It's really nice how they made him look younger in this. Smaller eyes, less wrinkles. He doesn't have like his open grin. He's only keeping like a small one. In the place of the accursed prosecutor Bjorn Faraday, I'll prove the defendant's guilt. Oh, this pose especially is very Von Karma. Very good. I've secured an hour of recess for you to prepare to do just that. The conditions for his first trial are absolutely bananas. Like, he only has a whole last hour to do, like, to prepare. That's intense, to say the least. Show them all the power of Von Karma. Let's begin with presenting the badge. Also, we have Bjorn Faraday, prosecutor and embassy staff killing case, accused of Byrell of being Yatagarasu. Anyways, let's see what he has to say about my badge. It is thanks to you that I've finally become a prosecutor, sir. It's amusing that you wanted to become a defense attorney, yet become my student. Became my student. I wonder why. It is a strange path you have traveled. Very much so. For those of you who don't know, because you began with this case, Von Karma is the killer of Edgeworth's dad, who was a defense attorney. Spoilers for game 1, I guess, but because we're playing a spin-off, I'm going in from the assumption you guys already knew that. And if you did, then I'm sorry, just pretend I didn't say anything. It's true that I've once wanted to become a defense attorney. But now I'm honored and proud to be a prosecutor. Wow, he was really von karma pilled right there. Oh, wait, it still shows that it's Metaphor Fantasio. I'm gonna take care of that for a sec. In the stream layout. Uno momento. Yeah, I need to edit the stream information. Manage stream. Edit stream info. We are playing Ace Attorney Investigations. Okay. And we have it correct. Let's go. The prosecutor's badge is not to be flaunted. The dignity of a prosecutor lies in the man himself, not in the badge. I understand. I will keep that in mind. Besides, why put holes in your fine garments? It's simply preposterous. This entire thing cost more than your rent. Prosecutors might also take pride in their appearance. I will keep this in mind as well. I'm constantly having to remind the others at the prosecutor's office of this. It's more fashionable to keep your prosecutor's badge in your pocket. In other words, always treat the prosecutor's badge with care and honor. I understand, sir. So now we know why he keeps it in his pocket. Interesting detail right there. So have you achieved a firm understanding of the case? Yes, sir. I have memorized everything that is written down in the case files. Well then, explain the case to me. Give me the exposition. I want to see if you know what you really are talking about. Understood. And now we're gonna get a recap. A murder was committed on September 8th in front of the Condopian embassy. Condopian? I think. I'm guessing instead of con, it's supposed to be con. The victim, Mr. Dademan, is a staff member at the embassy. Oh, that's such a cruel name. That is such a cruel name for a victim. Poor guy. His fate was practically sealed. The defendant in this case, Mr. Macrel, was held for questioning the night of the incident as he was deemed suspicious. He was quickly placed under arrest for possession of the murder weapon, a gun. Furthermore, at the time of the murder, the great thief Yatagarasu had successfully infiltrated the Kodopian embassy as well. At first, Rel claimed that he himself was Yatagarasu, but he did not kill Dade Man. I wonder what he expected to gain from such a desperate lie. It's possible that he wants to go down while in the spotlight. If he is found guilty. There is no limit to people's inanity. But I digress. Continue, Edgeworth. Yes, sir. During the trial, the prosecution presented the security footage that captured the murder. The footage clearly shows Mr. Rel as the murderer. The act of Mr. Rel firing the guns can be clearly seen from the visitor's gallery. Upon seeing that, the defendant retracted his statement and admitted the murder. I did it because I was told to, by the great Yatagarasu burned Thursday. Intrigue, lots of intrigue. That sounds about right. Oh wait, that was the Edgeworth voice. I'm gonna revoice. That sounds about right. However, you've forgotten one thing. While this may appear to be simply the murder of a Condopian embassy staff member, people are actually referring it as the second KG8 incident. The second KG8 incident? I'm very sorry, sir. I'm fear I failed to study hard enough. I mean, he only had a literal hour. I don't blame you, Miles. Well, among the police, it's information that only a select few are privy to. Could you please enlighten me, sir? So what do you mean by the second KG8 incident? In order for me to tell you that, you must first learn about the original case. Take a look at these documents. This is a 3-year-old newspaper. Well, let's look at it. Condopian Embassy staff member Manny Cochin, found not guilty. The victim is CCU. Shot over the Amano group. What's his relation to the smuggling ring? So, smuggling ring, a murdered woman, and very, very suspicious man with a lot of wrinkles. Yes, I have. The secretary of Ernest Amano, the Amano's group director, was arrested under suspicion of smuggling. Correct. And now this connects to case 3. CCU was also an employee of the Amano group, and the sole witness to the smuggling operation. It was she who brought the crime to light. However, Monsieur was silenced before she could testify in court. Wasn't a Condopian Embassy staff member arrested for the murder? Yes, a Condopian by the name of Manny Colchin was the suspect. However, due to lack of evidence, the case went unresolved. Lack of evidence? Ha! If only I was in charge of the case, I probably would have forged some evidence myself. But we do not say that, really. I would have done everything in my power to prove his guilt. To make sure that all criminals are found guilty. My mentor really is dedicated. Faraday was the prosecutor on the case then, and he was pathetic as ever. Mr. Faraday was in charge of the KG8 incident as well. That's right. Now, once again, the victim of the case you are currently assigned to was someone who was scheduled to testify against that smuggling organization. Wow, that was a holdup. Just like last time, the victim was murdered right before he was to testify. You're catching on. The victim was murdered just before his day in court against the smuggling organization. Events are occurring almost exactly the same way as they did in the KG8 incident. So that's why it's being called the second KG8 incident. So basically... Sorry. Yes. But there is one difference between the two incidents. What would that be? The so-called noble thief is sending everyone into an uproar. The great thief, Yatagarasu. I better find out more. But before we do that, I'm gonna go take a leak. I'll be back in a minute. For now, enjoy the bop. Enjoy the music. are back. Sorry for not Sorry for taking a while. I took a banana on my way back. But yeah. Anyways, let's talk about the Yatagarasu. If it is true the Yatagarasu showed up in the Kondopian embassy, what could he or she have been after? No doubt to steal any suspicious accounting records and release them publicly. Or more likely, to steal secrets from the Kondopian embassy itself. Since the item that the Yatagarasu stole from there was sent to the police, I am going to have my throat obliterated by doing Karma's voice. Such a good choice. It really is destroying my throat. A mistake. What was it the Yatagarasu sent to the police? I know not the details. Anything related to the Yatagarasu is getting the top secret treatment. Still, I find this very ironic. By returning the stolen item to the police, it was proof of positive that the Yatagarasu has infiltrated the embassy on the same day as a staff member was killed. Criminals have a way of incriminating themselves, wouldn't you say? This will come bite you in the ass, Karma. Believe me. That will be the first time the Yatagarasu has left evidence behind, correct? Yes, indeed. If you wish to learn more about the Yatagarasu, then I suggest you ask Faraday. Mr. Faraday? He happens to be the prosecutor in charge of the Yatagarasu case as well. He's the prosecutor in charge of both the KG-8 incident and the Yatagarasu case. Mr. Faraday really has a lot on his plate. Oh, look, it's baby K. What is it, little girl? Oh, she has a balloon.
You're scary, mister.
Oh, I love baby K, she's so cute. Did you need something?
I want to trade these coins with you.
They also localized the coins. A fistful of dimes, quarters, and pennies, but it looks like you've exactly $1. Is this what you want? Aw, look at her, she's so cute.
Thanks, that's exactly what I needed.
And there she goes. Could that child be here to watch the trial? How disrespectful for a child like that to be running around inside the courthouse. Does no one have respect in this country's judicial system anymore? Ooh, scary face. The paperwork for the prosecutor substitution is complete. Welcome to the stream. We are currently playing Ace Attorney Investigations Duology Edgeworth. Right now in case 4, flashback Yatagarasu, things are coming together. And Manfred is having a very scary face right now. Why, do you even know how much time there is left before the trial resumes? I'm so sorry. I can have you mopping up this courthouse instead of protecting it in an instant. Does he now? Gulp. Gulp, gulp, gulp. The guy is still gulping, even though it looks less like he's trying to gulp and more like he's trying to make the fountain work. It's no bother, sir. Not being completely prepared could prove to be a perfect handicap for me. A proud one you are. Look, they're matching. If they're standing closer, they can probably boop their fingers. You had better collect the evidence from Faraday and prepare yourself. It's time for your debut, Edgeworth. And goodbye. There he goes. September 10th, 4 p.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. Just what is going on? Why isn't Faraday here yet? How is it possible that the defense is not prepared yet either? Bailiff, where's Mr. Faraday? I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. Wow, that's not a good look, my friend. And there's his honor! Look at him go. Everyone's favorite, oblivious judge. Ah, you must be the one von Karma recommended. I hear this will be your first trial. I look forward to seeing how you perform. Oh, by the way, there was someone celebrating a birthday during... Was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. Such an old man. So it looks like the trial is about to resume, however. Yes, it will be all but impossible to prove the witness a liar. Without the evidence from Faraday. What is this blasted buffoon up to? Oh, that's a bilateral reference right there. Buffoon. It's an emergency, sirs! Oh, I actually fell down. Silence! There shall be no yelling in the sacred hall of the law. Bailiff, remove this man from the courtroom at once. Please, wait. You have to listen to me. There's an emergency. Defendant lobby number 2, Mr. Faraday and the defendant. The two of them, they're both dead, Your Honor. What? What? Indeed, we're not having a trial episode, it's another murder. And this time in the courtroom, which is, new-ish. Your judges for justice. Stay back. Ugh. And it's Detective Bad. No one's allowed in the crime scene. Period. Just who does this oddball think he is? This is becoming quite the hotspot. Isn't she Mr. Well's defense attorney? Hey, you! No running in the hallway, pal. I mean, dude, you just ran. I was running because you ran, pal. And who are you to tell me what to do? I'll never find out what's going on like this. It's time for some civil discourse. But not before we actually examine some of the stuff going on here in the lobby. The sofa looks like it's seen quite a fair share of use. And it looks like another part of the courthouse is visible from the window. My eyes have locked with the reflection's eyes in the bar window. As a student from Karma, I refuse to back. I won. Did he? Did he do a staring contest with himself? Man, Edgeworth, you're such a dork. Anyways. A drink vending machine. Now is not the time to be pondering what kind of drink I want. Your judges for justice. A poster of the judge. There is a longer slogan of some sort in tiny letters on the bottom. Every strike above my gavel brings the truth closer to me, and my hair farther away. Wow. That's the price the judges take. Is this a promotional poster of the Corp or head growth product? Anyways, let's start talking with them. Let's begin with the familiar face and then continue onwards. And you are? Who, me? Hey, pal. It's common courtesy to tell someone your name first before asking them theirs. Point taken. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a district prosecutor. A prosecutor? I've never seen a prosecutor as young as you, pal. Well, you're about to meet someone younger in a bit. I told you my name, now would you mind telling me yours? Detective Dick Gumshoe, and just recently, I achieved my dream of becoming a detective. What a doof. More than dream, it's what I was born to do. I mean, he was also born to be a bit of a hobo, but we're not gonna say that. Wait, maybe I should check and make sure I'm not really in some crazy dream first. This detective is entirely too excited to be at the murder scene. I mean, to be fair, there's not much going on behind his head. Okay, what I really like is that, like, Gumshoe's portrait is pretty much the same as the one, and, like, the only difference is the jacket color. Anyways, let's present some evidence. I want to present my badge first. You mentioned that you've only recently become a detective, did you not? You got it! I'm a brand spanking new detective. So that means you've probably never seen a paid prosecutor's badge, right? Oh my god, is he gonna rub it in? Edgeworth. If you so desire to see one, I just might be able to make your day. You don't have to go through the trouble, pal, because a real man has a police badge. And someday I'm gonna become an ace detective, just like Detective Bad. Ace detective. More like ace defective. There's like, listen, there's two personal references I can make from this one. The first one is the ace defective one. The other one is ace detective, which is a reference to the legendary Hi, I'm Daisy Persona 4 comics. That's actually how I got to know about Persona 4. That and like seeing a super best friends play like funny clips that were basically parodied with some MLP characters. Yeah. Did I say something? Did I say something wrong, pal? Forget it, detective. Okay, so these are my questions for him, and let's go to the crime scene. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling me what you know about the incident? You know what? I don't have to. You know that I don't have to tell you anything, right? I know that, but it would behoove you to fill me in on what you know. Well, you're a proud one for a youngster, aren't you? Pretty sure Gumshoe is like 26. Yeah. The difference between 26 and 20 and 19 is very steep. You grow up a lot during that time. One sec. A lot of character development. Well, anyway, Detective Brat is the one in charge. So you're just gonna have to ask him for all the details, okay? As for me, I was guarding the door to the defendant lobby number 2. So you are in guard detail. Did you notice anything strange while you were on duty? Well, I freaked out when I heard a gunshot, and then I kinda froze. Your detective and measly gunshot scared you that much? It's less a detective thing and more a Gumshoe thing. Come on, you can't say no to these puppy dog eyes. And again, I can hardly claim to know what it's like to hear one at close range. Hardly claim to not know. Right, I misread. Edgeworth does know that. Then Detective Bad came running to the scene. We went to lobby number 2 together and both men were lying there dead. Is that everything? Yeah, that's it. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peeper struggle. Interesting. Other than this gunshot, you didn't hear a single sound of commotion. That's a pretty important testimony. Anyways, not much else to do, so let's go to the lady in the middle. I love her design and those earrings. Such a unique look. Do you have a minute? You know, I'm not really into talking to people I don't know. Especially at a time like this. I apologize for not introducing myself before bothering you. She also kind of looks like the lady from the case a few years ago. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I was to take Mr. Faraday's place in court. Edgeworth, huh? Never heard of you. So Faraday's substitute is a newbie, huh? I'll have you know, madam, that I study under Manfred von Karma. Do not take me for some Do not take me for some naive novice. Do not take me for some naive novice. So you're a student of Karma? I should have. Those clothes are dead giveaway. Honestly, honestly, she looks kind of cute when she's laughing. Stop right there. These are the garments of one who gallantly presents the facts. Wow. She fucking shot through his confidence right there. Thanks for the great laugh, but try not to make me laugh so much, okay? I wasn't trying to do anything of the sort. I mean, on one hand, I can understand why it was rude, but I was like that when Lang first showed up. It's really funny. Just kidding! I was just goofing around. By the way, I don't know if this is the voice I want to give to Callisto, because her objection for memory is kind of low and nosy, so maybe I can try talking more like this. Like give it, like instead of making my voice, but make it a little lower. Let's try to give it more of an edge. By the way, do you know who I am? My name is Callisto Yu. And if you're telling the truth, then we're about to go head to head in court. Ah, but of course, I have heard much about you, Miss Yu. But of course, I've heard so much about you. You're a regular Shakespeare. Did I say something funny? Oh man. Oh man, oh man. This woman. It is a shame that we will not be able to face each other. It was to be my first trial too. Oh, was that a declaration of war? How nice it is to be young and carefree. How old is she again? Ma'am, you're 22. You're also pretty young. And what a nice squiggling badge you've got yourself there. I'm jealous. I'm sure claim will dull over time with experience. Are you saying your reputation will also tarnish over time with it? Wow, this woman's mean. That's not what I meant. Well, you just can't avoid some things in life. I'll never allow my badge or my reputation to become tarnished. Demon prosecutor calling from a few years forward. He wants his I told you so back. And crime scene. I'd like to update you on the I'd like you to update me on the situation. I don't really know anything. Why don't you try talking to those detectives over there? If that's the case, then why are you here? Ugh, what's so funny? Just the way you speak is so tactless. The person I was going against in court until only a while ago was just murdered. It's not like you could go back to courtroom pretending as though nothing happened. That's a good point. I apologize for asking such an insensitive question. It's fine. Don't worry about it. She's an odd one, to be certain. By the way, what do you know about the KG8 incident? You look very similar to one of them. Miss Yu, what do you think about this piece of evidence? Actually, Edgeworth, I'm interested in finding out what you think about it. I don't really know not much about it. And I don't really know all that much about it either. Damn. This woman. Sorry, guess I can't be of any service. I shouldn't push her too much or just start laughing again. I don't... What will be this character's endearing trait? Laughing? Okay, sure. And now it's Mr. Bad. Looking pretty scary. Excuse me, but who are you? Detective Tyrell Bad. Homicide. If you couldn't guess by my edgy demeanor. I was informed of the situation and came as quickly as possible. So how did you arrive and inspect the body before me? Faraday requested me to testify in the trial. Plain and simple. Mr. Faraday requested that you be here. There's a lot of things to ask about. I've already contacted HQ about the situation. I've got nothing to say to you, kid. Kid? I mean, to be fair, you are pretty young, Edgeworth. 1953 is a lot. I'm Mr. Faraday's substitute in today's trial. Therefore, I insist that you update me on the situation. Come back down here. I have a right to know. Do I need to teach you a thing or two about how to talk to adults, kid? Is he threatening me? Is he going for his gun? It's just a mirror. How dare you trick me like that? Hey, you gotta check if he has some stray hairs or like dirt on his teeth. Faraday was stabbed to death with some kind of blade, and he had a gun in his hand. The other man, Mr. Mackrell, was shot and killed. He was found holding a bloody knife in his hand. Was there anyone else who went to defendant lobby number 2? Yeah, that big lug over there. His name's Gumshoe. Yeah, we just talked to him. He was in charge of guarding the place. He's claiming that no one else entered the room. If that's the case, then they must have killed each other, correct? Maybe. Such impudence. This guy really is testing my patience. Look at those deep, sharp eyes. I really like how they actually went back and seemed to do some of the brushwork to adapt it from the pixel art. It really adds. And trial witness. Why was I not informed that you were going to testify in court? Homicides aren't my only gig. The Atagarasu case is also one of my assignments. So you were called upon to comment on the Atagarasu's characteristics. In order to assess if Mr. Faraday really was the Atagarasu or not. Well, looks like you just might have a brain after that head. On that head of your son. Son, I'm not your son, Pops. If I was you and I heard that, I would laugh. Miss Yu, there is someone here who wishes to see you. 2 Yus. Who is it? A Condopian embassy staff member by the name of Manny Cochin. What? Oh, they're all tense. They probably know something about it. What's going on? Detective Brat and Miss Yu's news just changed all of a sudden. Wait a second. Wasn't Manny Cochin the defendant who was found not guilty? That is correct, Edgeworth. He's not gonna do much, but yeah. I'll be right there. It's nice to see you again, Miss Yu. There's so much puns that can be made with Yu's name. Why are you here? Oh wait, why are you here? I have no desire to ever see you again. Now. Actually, would you mind stepping outside for a brief chat? Fine, let's go. And here's Von Karma speeding up! He's speeding up! And now he's gonna talk to him. Bad. Von Karma, it's been a long time. I knew you would show up. You usually do when the Atagarasu is involved, and I see this case is no exception. Do you know Detective Bad, sir? Yes. He's like an old bloodhound that never leaves the scene of the crime. If only he would get a promotion and move on. It's the crime scene where the detective's most useful and effective. It's not like I don't know that. Moving on, though, Bad. The man that I just passed by.
Was he not the suspect from the KG8 incident?
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna do the gruff because it's killing my voice cords, so we're just gonna talk in this voice. So I was right.
Just what is that man doing, wandering around here?
Not Faraday.
That Faraday, I can't believe that he let such an easy catch get away. Imbecile! I would have proved his guilt in 3 minutes.
Von Karma, I think you've said enough for now. It's in poor taste to speak like that of the departed.
Very well. Back on topic. I'm placing Edgeworth in charge of the investigation here.
Objection!
Look who's back! She's back and she's very small. I love baby Franziska. I mean, she's not a baby, she's a teenager, but look at her. She looks so cute. I gotta get in character because I'm smiling a bit too much.
Papa, how can you place him in charge?
Franziska, what are you doing here?
I'm here for summer vacation. What else? What else?
Franziska von Kalma. She is here on vacation from Germany. She's the daughter of Manfred von Kalma and a student of his who's a junior to me, and also his daughter. Oh, he also said that. I can read, chat. I can read. I promise.
You're the one who's junior to me, and don't you forget it!
You're not conveniently avoiding the bar examination, are you?
If you were able to pass, then I'll absolutely have no trouble at all.
I never allow myself to lose to you. Never!
Why does she always have to be this competitive? There's a lot of reasons. First of all, she's 13. Second of all, has been elaborated in Justice for All. Among other reasons. There's a lot of reasons, Edgeworth. We can be here all day.
Anyway, Papa,
are you really assigning my Edgeworth to cover the case?
Yes, I am.
Why do you ask? Well, you know, I'm close to becoming a prosecutor myself. And I am 100% confident that I can do a better job than him.
That's just like Franziska. She has no problem bad-mouthing someone right in front of them. Bad? Yeah. These two will be conducting the investigation. What? You want me to let the both of these kids loose on the crime scene? Huh. This is a perfect opportunity for them to work on their prosecutorial skills. The crime scene is not a place for children to be messing around in.
I'm the one with authority over this crime scene, Bad.
Because reasons.
And I will not tolerate complaining.
Grr. Just like other appearances, Von Karma really is a control freak.
Edgeworth, Franziska, I leave this case to the two of you.
Understood, sir.
Yes, Papa.
I'll go take care of the paperwork now. Remember, I'll accept nothing but a perfect report from the both of you. Do not disappoint me.
I miss doing the Franziska impersonation.
Hold up, Von Karma, I still haven't agreed to this.
Miles Edgeworth.
It's been quite some time, Franziska. And and he totally didn't give her stack on her already existing abandonment issues.
This will be the perfect chance for us to see if each of us is truly worthy of the Von Karma name.
Would it kill you to at least say hello? Where's Callisto you to make some fun of this lady? I mean,
long time no see.
That's cute. Very good.
Just because you became a prosecutor first doesn't mean you can act all proud.
She hasn't changed a bit. This makes me wonder, how long has Edgeworth not seen Franziska? Like, because from this you can kind of assume that it has been a very long time.
Miles Edgeworth? As I was saying, we shall see which one of us is worthy of the uncommon name.
For crying out loud, I've been reduced to a babysitter. Looks like Mr. Von Karma was successful in convincing a detective. That's just like him. He never fails. Now I'd appreciate it if you could quickly run me through the facts, Detective Dad. You're better off checking things out on your own. Very well. Seems like getting help from Detective Dad will be a most arduous task. With very bad success rate. September 10th, 4:15, Lots of stuff to do. Ugh. Is this really the only explanation that they killed each other simultaneously?
Miles Edgeworth! You should listen to someone until they are finished talking.
What are you talking about?
I'll only say it once more time. This is a competition to see who's truly worthy of the uncommon name.
That's a little odd, Francisca, considering we're talking about, two dead men? Don't you think? I think that's a little, in bad faith. I think that's not a very good... This entire competition is in very bad taste from Karma. If you ask me, at least. One sec. Competition. The person that figures out the truth first wins. So the person who doesn't discover the truth is a dishonor to the name.
Exactly! I don't care that you become a prosecutor before me. I simply refuse to hear any more foolish things come from your foolish mouth.
Fine, whatever makes you happy.
Can I take it as you accepting my challenge?
Once again, whatever makes you happy. Wow, he really does not give a shit about her. Edgeworth, she just wants attention.
Huh. Well then, let's begin the investigation, shall we?
But it's also very Big Brother behavior.
I'm going to find the perfect evidence and prettily present it like the professional I am.
Competing to discover the truth behind the crime. How delightfully childish. She's 13, Edgeworth. You kids there, hold it. Kid? Yeah, you're 19. And also below drinking age.
Ha! Serves you right, Miles. He just called you a kid.
I said kids, kid.
How dare you call me a kid as well?
Oh, they're such goofballs, I can't. They're so cute. I'll do what I please. They won't allow you to cause a ruckus on my crime scene. Hey, big guy, you're going to watch over these two. Yes, sir. Detective Bad, sir. Now, do what I say from now on, kids, okay?
You better not get in our way, Scruffy. You'll feel the bite of my whip if you do.
Turns out her whips have teeth. Then you too, prosecutor boy. Let's get your investigation started already, alright? Great. Now, Evan, that detective is treating me like a child. Alright, it's time to get investigating. Get a move on, prosecutor boy. My name is Miles Edgeworth. And if you were to call me prosecutor boy one more time, it will be my duty as prosecutor to look into your monthly salary. Wow. It was there from the beginning. Amazing. What? And what would you do to with my salary after you saw how much it was?
That's up to you, isn't it?
Really? Sounds good, pal. He's so naive. Old habits die hard.
Except that, may I have a word with you?
What? What is it?
It appears that both a knife and a gun were used as murder weapons, and one of them chose to bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, it does.
And it leads us to the first question of the investigation. Why did the men acquire these weapons?
The gun was inside of Faraday's bag. It was a piece of evidence that was presented in the trial earlier today. It was used to kill the Condobian embassy staff member. But I never heard anything about the knife. Mr. Rell was being held by the police. There's no way he could have brought it in. Which means it's possible that Faraday had the knife on him from the start as well.
Could it have been a piece of evidence that is yet to be presented?
But then, why doesn't Detective Dad know about it?
Wait, what if? It's possible that Faraday brought the knife in under the guise of prosecutorial evidence. He could have then brought it out and attacked Mr. Bell with it.
Huh. Maybe you've got a brain in there after all, kid.
No. Is he going to treat me like a child forever? You're 19. It's better to be treated as a child than to be... It's not as good to be treated as a child, but I relate. When I was 18, some people thought I was still in middle school. Mostly because I'm very short in real life. It was kind of embarrassing. Not kind of, very. That's the only logical conclusion you can draw from a scene like this.
Not yet.
I feel like there's too much early to be drawing conclusions already. I must first find conclusive evidence so as to protect the honor of uncommon name. Lots of shit to investigate. Let's begin with the plans. It's decorative plants foliage is quite nice. It's actually soothing to be around it. Perhaps I should purchase one for my room. Does Edgeworth have a plant? Has a plant in his room? I don't remember. Also, look at the TV camera titled Blunt. The window is open. There's a fresh flowery scent in the air. Ugh, flowers in the garden here are so gross and ghastly. Do you think maybe you could try offering something useful for change? Well, at least there's no way someone escaped through the window, pal. They would have to wake up and smell the flowers after a fall from the 3rd floor. Are you willfully ignoring the fact that there are also iron bars in the windows? Yeah, I guess that there's that too. Either way, no one could get through these windows, right? We thought of everything when they were designed this courthouse. Very nice. Oh my gosh, I'm phasing through Gumshoe. What's in the bag? There's some stuff in the bag, pal. I suppose there's Mr. Faraday's bag. It's probably trial evidence I was supposed to collect from him. This is the evidence? I better not touch it! I'll leave prints on it! Did you just not pay attention to anything you do? They really dumbed Gumshoe down, did they? I don't remember he was this ignorant. Honestly, all the more reason to like replay the trilogy eventually. There's a set of tea. There are some plastic bags stacked up on the table. There's a tea set too, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of disturbance. Yeah, the table's all neat and tidy. Maybe they were super quiet in their scuffle. After all, I didn't hear anything from out in the hallway, you know. Maybe the plastic bags scattered on the floor are throwing us off. Right, there is that as well. Why are there plastic bags scattered all around? Those bags are for keeping evidence safe, pal. I know that much, detective. You sure are good in this stuff, aren't you, pal? Normally, I'd be happy when someone compliments me, but this guy... Anyway, these plastic bags of evidence have a fight between the two men.
Well, here's the question. Let's queue for questioning, because we have a neat and tight table and plastic bags strewn about. What's up with that? There is a very tidy pile of plastic bags on the table, and yet a portion of them wound up scattered on the floor as well. It's not likely that the ones from the floor were knocked over during the struggle. In which case, might there not be another explanation as to how they got there? Another reason? Well, I believe it's possible the blood on the outside of the bag is related somehow. Ugh, please get that wet blood away from me, pal! Next to Gumshoe, whose blood is on the bag? Hold on, let me ask the lab guy. Alright, please hurry. Wait till you get a load of this, pal. It's Mr. Faraday's. Oh, and the technician said that they didn't find anything else on or in the bag either. It would appear that this bag is a very important piece of evidence. Okay, if you say so, I'll leave it in your hands, pal. Because he sure doesn't want to touch it himself. Or But to be fair, it's a lot of blood. It can be really gross. Anyways, let's examine the scene. Looks like Mr. Faraday fell on top of Mr. Red. At first glance, it seems that they must have killed each other, however. Using logic, the only logical conclusion is aha! What was that outfit for? My detective instinct just hit me real hard. It was Mr. Rell that fell first, see? You don't need a detective's instinct for that, it's common sense. But I suppose we won't know much more than that until after I examine the bodies. And then we need to examine every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Let's begin with examining the gun. His hand. His hand is all black down there, see? I wonder what it could be. Feel closely. This blotching pattern resembles an ink stain. An ink stain? Yeah, I usually get my ink on my own hand when I use my feather pen. Wow, he's so classy. A feather pen? I've never seen one before. Sure you just aren't making it up, pal? I mean, if you ever seen... Has Gumshoe ever seen a periodic drama? Looks like Mr. Faraday died while holding the gun in his right hand. So he shot Mr. Rondell from on top of him while still gripping onto the gun. I guess that does seem to be kind of strange, huh? I mean, why would Mr. Faraday know how to fire a gun? It's not exactly rocket science, even I know how to pull a trigger. Although I doubt I'll ever need to use one. I hope I never have to fire a gun either, pal. But it sure does look cool to hold the gun in your hands. Is he actually stupider than when he was in the present time? It appears that the police's screening procedures need a thorough review. A bit. Anyway, I should jot down some notes about the handgun in Mr. Faraday's hand. Look at Mr. Rell with a knife in it. Looks like Mr. Rell died with the knife in his hand. There's some blood stock on it. Then he must have used this as a weapon. Yep, no doubt about it. Was Mr. Faraday carrying this on his personage? Did he bring this as a piece of evidence for the trial? Or did he bring it with a very different intention in mind? We should jot down some notes about it. Mr. Rell's cause of death was from being shot, correct? That's what we think, but it's hard to tell with him lying face down. Death is bad enough, but it truly is lamentable that someone would try to hide the truth. Are you sure they were trying to hide something? I can't confirm Mr. Rell's cause of death with his body positioned like that. Detective Brat, I'd like to examine the bodies in further detail if possible.
What's this? You're not able to perform a theory with them the way they are.
This girl literally told me skill issue. I believe an examination of the bodies is vital to finding the perfect evidence, don't you?
I suppose you have a point. Well, hurry up and get on with it!
Labby?
Yes, sir. You've taken enough photos to see, sir. And there you have it. Do you not approve? Of course not. What? Investigation of the crime scene is the work of a detective, so don't touch a thing. Hey, big fella, turn over the bodies for me, will you? Okay. Please forgive me, Mr. Faraday, sir. Gumshoe, do not get emotionally involved. Remember, you're a detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. My room presently inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay, so he doesn't hold anything in his hand, and there is a fountain pen here. There's something in his breast pocket. It's a fountain pen. With a very nice nib. Hey, you know what I always keep in the pencil behind my ear? Because Detective Brat was always telling me, you should always write your name on everything you own. Oh, so that's why! Yes, somehow you do strike me as a forgetful individual. I mean, it's good advice. Let's connect these two. They're definitely connected. That splotch in Mr. Faraday's hand. I wonder if it might be the ink from his fountain pen. Ooh, let's ask the lab guy. Detective Gumshoe. He confirmed that the substance on Mr. Faraday's hand is the ink from his fountain pen. I see. Good work. You know, I've always wanted to say that, even if it was just time in my life. Hopefully it won't be the last time, Gumshoe. And Mr. Faraday wrote this in his fountain pen in his left hand. I think it's only fair to assume he was left-handed. It appears that Mr. Faraday's pen was very important to our case as well. Okay, if you say so, pal. Okay, back from there. Let's see. We have the wound. There is a knife wound in his chest, see? I wonder if the wound matches the knife Mr. Red is holding. Labby? Yes, sir. Verifying now, sir. Make it quick. From the look of things, one could deduce that the knife Mr. Red was holding was what killed Mr. Faraday. Oh yeah, that is pretty true. Let's examine the gun as well. Mr. Faraday is holding a gun in his right hand. That's the one Mr. Rel got blown away by, right? Labby, your answer? Yes, sir. We found that the ballistic markings do match the gun. Ah, yes, the ballistic fingerprints. Oh, ballistic markings are, the figurative fingerprints of a gun leaves on a bullet when fired. Every gun leaves its own unique ballistic markings. Therefore, by looking at the markings on a bullet, you can tell which gun it came from. Yeah, that's it. Of course. I already knew all about that, pal. Maybe you'd better off going back to the academy. Oh, that's rude. Come on, sir. Cut me some slack, will you? I mean, if we're going by Japanifordian training, then Police Academy is a bit of a joke in comparison. So the bullet that was fired from this gun is what failed Mr. Van. Okay, let's check the bullet point. Shot in the chest. It takes some guts to fire a gun in this courthouse. I mean, I've been a detective for a whole week and I still haven't fired a single round yet. Not even in training? Wow. There aren't any burn marks on his clothes, that must mean. Wait, burn marks? A round grows very hot as it's discharged from a firearm. Therefore, burn marks are usually left when the shot is fired from point-blank range. There you go, Mr. Rowe must have been shot from at least a yard or two away. How much is a yard to meter again? I don't use the... I don't know Imperial units, guys. You sure you know a bunch of neat stuff for your age, pal. Apparently this detective has much in common knowledge as your everyday marsupial. Marsupial? I never heard that word before. Let us now just try to understand how these two men died. First, Mr. Faraday took the gun and the knife from today's trial evidence. Then he aimed the gun at Mr. Rell and fired.
However, Mr. Bell managed to grab the knife and counter Mr. Faraday while being shot. Then 2 men fell together where they stood. That is my theory in any case. What a crazy way to go. Still, something about this explanation just doesn't seem right. I believe now I have a firmer grasp on what happened here. I guess do I have any more logic details? No, I do not. Okay, and we don't have anything else to examine here. What else is there? We already examined this, we already examined that. We can try talking to Franziska. Aha, I see. Did you figure something out? This is a competition, Miles, and as such, I'd appreciate if you didn't talk to me. As you wish. Nope. Tyrell Dad, do you have anything to say to us? Detective Dad, do you have any thoughts on the case? Faraday and Rao. It looks like they killed each other to me. Although, there are a few things that just don't seem right. And what do you think, what would they be? Why don't you try thinking on your own first before you bothering me, boy?
Wow. He really doesn't want... He is really not enjoying this, is he?
What? Now I've been downgraded to just boy? Yeah, you got disowned, Edgeworth. You got demoted from son to boy. You're no longer a son. You're nobody's son. You're just a boy. Very tragic. Okay. With the TV. Whoa! What is it, Detective Gumshoe? My TV at home is so tiny compared to this one, pal. I'm guessing he has a 4x3. But perhaps you should purchase a more normal-sized television like this one. From the very expensive type blunt. Ooh, let me see here. Now, this thing is huge. Wow! And way too noisy. You're the noisy one, Scrappy! Don't touch it, you'll get your fingerprints all over it. But I didn't touch it. Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. The foundation, huh? Sounds like something the rookie here needs to shore up on. He's really... wow. I guess there's not much left to investigate, huh? They really did kill each other. No, we can't conclude that quite yet. There's still something I find very peculiar here. The theory that they simply killed one another is too simplistic at this case. In fact, there's actually a contradiction that shows that there's another possibility. No way, pal. Really? I suppose I'll just have to show you the contradiction in this crime scene. And then he says the line. Basically, it's pretty easy. He's holding it in his right hand when he's in fact left-handed. Case in point, the fountain pen. Now we come face to face with the contradiction I spoke of, and it's this. Mr. Faraday used his left hand to write with his fountain pen. Ergo, he is left-handed. And yet the handgun is in his right hand. Don't you find it odd that the left-handed Mr. Faraday would hold the gun in his right hand? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the great contradiction haunting this crime scene. Hey, you're right, pal. That does seem kind of strange. But how could something like this happen? The facts add up to one's conclusion and one alone. Someone else put the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand after he died. Someone else? Plastic bags are scattered on the floor and a gun in the wrong hand. I sense the presence of a shadowy figure behind this case. A person with violent intent who is serious about keeping the truth from us. September 10th, this report, defendant lobby number 2. How many defendant lobbies are there in this game? And now Detective Brat is gonna talk. Here's the autopsy report. It is probable that Mr. Rail survived for a short time after he was shot. However, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously from the stabbing. Interesting. It looks like we now know everything there is to know about this case. Are you sure we know everything? Of course. The incident began with Mr. Faraday attempting to get his revenge. The prosecutor went into a rage after being accused and tried to kill the defendant. But the defendant fought back and they ended up killing each other. Oh, look at their funny curtsy. It's all very clear and simple. There is absolutely no margin of doubt. Do you really believe that to be the truth? Are you saying that because I figured out the truth before you? That you don't want to believe it's true? It's alright. If you disagree with my argument, then prove me wrong. Well, if there's any contradictions to be found, that is. I can't wait for when I cross-examine Franziska and I just need to present evidence. Don't worry, I will. That'll be really funny. Let's see what happens. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, while Mr. Rail survived for a short time. From this, it is obvious Mr. Faraday died after he was shot Mr. Rail. And Mr. Rail, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. Those are the facts of this case. But you may have sold the facts, but you don't have any logic, do you? Checkmate, liberals. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, therefore he must have attacked first. Proving that logic to be false is probably the fastest way to show her that she's wrong. Is that the case? I should first look for any holes in her theory. Holes. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, survived for a short time. Okay, that's fine. And this is obvious Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rell. I mean, we don't know if he shot him. Let's try pressing some statements. Wait, no. Mr. Rell stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. Those are the facts of this case. There's something strange with Franziska's theory. I should compare her claim with the data I've gathered thus far. I just know there's a contradiction somewhere. Well, right now we know the contradiction is that, why did Mr. Faraday hold his gun with the right hand?
Objection!
Nope, that was not it. Clear contradiction in my line of logic. Let's try pressing some statements. Oh, get fucked, Edgeworth. Lose the truth for all eternity. Wow, so dramatic.
Hold it!
Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rell before he died. Do you have any basis to that statement? Your foolishness has no end, does it? Now, I hate to repeat myself, however, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously. That's all the basis I need. Alright, so Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, then he must have attacked Mr. Rell before being stabbed. You're finally beginning to catch on, I see.
Objection!
Oh my god, I did not mean to do that, fuck! That's two contradictions gone at once. Oh, that was a okay. That was an F on my part. Yeah, I wanted to get the details. Discovered immediately after a gunshot was heard. Faraday died from night-standard death. The shock of stabbing caused instantaneous death. Rell died from bullet wound to the chest. There was no gunpowder burned his quilt. Suggesting he was shot from a few yards away. It's possible he was alive a little longer after being shot. Okay, not too bad.
Wait, what was the body order again? Yeah. It also... I mean, we're saying that, but the order of the bodies is all wrong. Maybe that's it. Because...
Objection!
Nope. Let's reload. It's a very weird thing because Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous. Mr. Rel survived for a short time.
Hold it!
Do you truly believe that Mr. Faraday died instantaneously? I have the murder report right here. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously of shock from being stabbed in the I can't read! There, you see? It's been documented clear as day. He screams in response. Maybe we need to present the crime scene notes here?
Objection!
Nope. My favorite part of Ace Attorney. The part where I have to, hold on. I'm gonna press more statements. Means he must have attacked Mr. Rel before the stabbing. You finally begin to catch on.
Hold it!
So you believe that the dying Mr. Rel stole the knife from Mr. Faraday? Mr. Rel became desperate as he did not want to die. Human beings can do amazing things while they are put to the test. So the two men struggled, and in the end Mr. Rel was able to grab the knife and stab Mr. Faraday. The messy condition of the room is a testament to their struggle. Yes, my logic is perfectly sound. Can you really say that it's perfect? What are you insinuating? Nothing, however, I can't let what you said slide without further inquiry. One must clear and precise, so if you could append your statement to your testimony, fine. They struggled, and Mr. Rale used his last strength to counter-attack Mr. Faraday. Pretty sure the notes say that there was no sign of struggle. Yeah, they didn't struggle.
Objection!
No! Ah! Come on, I played this game hundreds of times. Why did I forget how to use logic?
Hold it!
I already read all this. I already read all this. I already went through all this. They struggled. Mr. L used the last of his strength to counterattack Mr. Faraday. I'm gonna save again, just so I don't forget anything. Let's go back. And let's present.
Objection!
Nope, we do not need to present the bag. He's using the Phoenix technique before Phoenix is there. Very funny. We know that presenting the notes isn't what we want. Oh, I think we need to present the gun. No? Not the gun? I will give it to Franziska. This testimony is a bit more challenging than ones in the later game. It's not the bag. I think I need to present the notes, maybe.
Objection!
No? Okay, then what do I need to present? The candle even being owned by a 13-year-old. This is more embarrassing than what happened with Wayne. Welcome to the stream. I'm currently playing Ace Attorney Investigations and not knowing how to react to the 13-year-old.
Hold it!
And start pressing again. About this statement. Mr. L used all of his remaining strength to take the knife and defend himself. One can easily say that they had a violent struggle. Of course, it's nothing compared to what my riding crop can do. Franziska, I don't think that's something you need to be proud of. Are you suggesting that the riding crop can kill a man? Where are the bodies, Franziska? Where are they? How does one compare the damage of a crop can do to the state of the room? Furthermore, all the plastic bags on the floor in this room were scattered due to the fight. Is there anything else that can explain for you? No, that'll be fine. I think that's what we need to, Yeah, no, we have the testimony. I just need to figure out what I need to present. No. Yeah, we're currently in my favorite zone of playing an Ace Attorney called, throwing everything on the wall and seeing what sticks. But this definitely is the evidence. It's gotta be. I pressed it, I presented. I shook the pen. Oh, that's so rude. Edgeworth. Do I need to put this bag under another bag to present it as evidence? Good question. Okay, I'm just gonna throw evidence until something sticks. I'm gonna...
Hold it!
Let's try pressing this. Claiming speculation is fact already. Don't you feel the evidence is a bit lacking?
You'll find out all the evidence you need just by looking around this room. Mr. Faraday collapsed on top of Mr. Rail. In addition, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, making a counterattack impossible. Furthermore, the room is a total mess from their fight. I dare even say there's more evidence here than you could whip at a whip at. Whip.
It looks like you're starting to see my point.
I've as good as won as in the competition.
There's something strange. I mean, they couldn't have struggled because the bullet was fired from distance. Is that it?
Objection!
No, it's not. What's wrong? What did I get wrong here? So confusing. Okay. If there's anyone in chat who remembers what I need to do, then remind me. Oh, it's Gumshoe's testimony. Oh my god, I'm so blind!
Objection!
I'm so blind! If the two men were fighting, their struggle would have surely cast quite a bit of noise. However, Detective Gumshoe testified he heard absolutely nothing. You place too much faith in that detective testimony, you know? But for the sake of an argument, let's say there wasn't a fight. Now then, did Mr. Rail get... How then? Did Mr. Rail get his hands on the knife? Mr. Faraday's bag was sitting right in here in the lobby number 2. It's not that hard to imagine that perhaps Mr. Rail saw a chance and took it out at some point. So, what you're saying is, Mr. Rail took a chance when he saw the opportunity and took the knife from the bag. And then, Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rail after being stabbed? Isn't there something strange in Francisca's statement just now? Well, obviously something's off because the game told me. Wait, something doesn't add up. Oh, really? It's simply not possible Mr. Faraday to have shot Mr. Rail after being stabbed. Because it was instantaneous.
Take that!
According to the coroner's report, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, meaning that he died immediately upon being stabbed by the knife. Ergo, he could not have possibly have fired the gun after that. Ooh, you got me. She's a little too enthusiastic at being in a crime scene, I'm just saying. But of course.
Well then, if the report is correct, then there is only one correct explanation. If we suppose that Mr. Rail attacked first, then Mr. Faraday, who died instantaneously, would have been unable to kill Mr. Rail. Therefore, Mr. Rail must have stabbed Mr. Faraday after he was shot. Then, they both died. That is the only explanation that makes logical sense.
Negating your opponent's ideas in order to prove your own theory. I see you've been studying, Francisca. They've both been studying under the same shitty mentor.
I just wanted to explain to you as simply as possible. Before you foolishly propose a foolish theory that only a foolish fool like you could.
I could do her voice all day. How naive of you to believe that only your opinions are valid. Have you ever been on Twitter, Edgeworth? Or Tumblr? That's literally... that's where that I mean... Tumblr and Twitter should have existed by then, so yeah, you just haven't been there. And still expect to discover the truth that the crime scene offers you. Francisca, you've still got ways to go.
I would rape you. What are you talking about? Are you saying there's a flaw in my logic? Mr. Faraday died instantly. And the fact that he did was what gives rise to the contradiction of the scene. The contradiction here is the crime scene is... Well, honestly, the order of the bodies fell. Let me get this straight. What are you arguing is this? Mr. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Mr. Red. Then, I'm mixing up my accents, and the wounded Mr. Rail found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Mr. Faraday died on the spot, and Mr. Rail died thereafter. If that's the case, how do you explain this? Take a good look at the order in which the bodies are piled. No! Mr. Faraday's body is lying on top of Mr. Rail's. Therefore, Mr. Rail must have died before Mr. Faraday. Impossible! Yes, I agree. It seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means that the only real mystery behind this crime scene we must prove is... Objection! No, not so fast, Miles Edgeworth! What now? I simply think that you ought to think a bit more outside the box. And that is even clearer now that the incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent. She sure bounced back quickly. An explanation won't be enough for this time. It's going to take some very decisive evidence to prove it wrong. Also, congratulations, Franziska. I think you got me bummed for like 15 minutes. And, I also need to press the evidence before presenting it. So, you are more competent than a 27? Than a 20-something, a man, an Interpol agent in his late 20s. There we go. It was just a chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rail's. The two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. It really doesn't matter the slightest that they fell in the opposite order. Oh, well, it seems like Franziska isn't paying attention to the evidence anymore. I just know that Franziska's explanation isn't absolutely correct. All I have to do is find a hole in her logic. Once I do, I can present her with the evidence that proves the contradiction. What happened? Part 2. It was just as... I mean, we know that's not true because Mr. Rell's gun... The bullet that killed Mr. Rell was fired from a few yards away, whatever that means. I don't speak Imperial. I don't speak Imperial.
Objection!
No? Seems like that's not it. But let's continue it. Let's just... I think I need to press more statements instead of, like, looking for the kill.
Hold it!
What do you mean by they attacked each other at the same time? I assume Mr. Faraday had two different weapons in his hands. He made the attack, Mr. Rail, while holding both the knife and the revolver. And then, after Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Rail grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. That is how Mr. Rail wound up in the bottom with Mr. Faraday on top. At close range, it is more than possible. Yes, it's possible, but... Well, if you have any other ideas, then show me what you've got. Oh, I will. And to that extent, I'd like you to append what you just said to the testimony. Okay, I need to press a statement. I don't see any point in that, but as you please. The fact indicates that they attacked each other at the same time from close range. Why is Franziska a more compelling, I know that Lang isn't the case right now, but it's... Franziska is just more capable than Lang at the moment. It's not Lang... By the way, it's not Lang hate, it's Lang disappointment. So you believe they killed each other at close range? Sorry, but that's impossible. Just as is written in the crime scene notes. The firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rel's clothes. Therefore, Mr. Rel and the gun must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 or 3 yards. And we got the cool music going on. Ah! Yes, this is by far the biggest contradiction. The two bodies are piled up on each other, yet the gun was fired from a distance. And with there being no chance that Mr. Rel moved that far after being shot, it only leaves one possible explanation. What a completely foolish line of foolish thought from a thoroughly foolish fool. Foolish. Give it the toilet, foolish. If I'm not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill, huh? Who? A person attacked first with murderous intent. That would be neither man. Considering the fact that this is a long case, it's not going to end in part 1. And he's going to say, here in this room, contradictions appear no matter which we claim attacked first. Thus, there can only be one explanation. There was a third person here. It was that a third person killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel, and set their bodies up to make it look like the double murder. That third person is the real culprit. Miles Edgeworth, there's just one thing you're missing. Evidence, correct? Exactly. Everything you've said until now is nothing but a story played out in your head. You're a bit delulu, Miles Edgeworth. However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove that there was a third person involved in this crime? Of course. If a third person was truly here, that fact would have resolved the glaring contradiction. The proof that this has all been a setup, made to look like they killed each other. I'll present it, and lay bare the final piece of the puzzle that's not yet in place. What is the piece of evidence that proves that there's a third person involved? I think it's the fact. I think it's the fountain pen, to be honest. Doesn't seem like I think I might have to take a penalty here. Yep, I had to take a penalty. How fun. And how exactly is that related? Do you think you could explain it to me? There is no need for an explanation. Well, I have no idea how it's related, so can you please explain it to me? Yes, well, let me guess. You can't explain it, can you? She's so mad. It would appear I was wrong. There is definitely a contradiction here. I think it's the gun. Pretty sure.
Take that!
Yeah, it's the gun. The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand, and a plastic bag with his blood on it. These two items prove to the presence of a third person. How so? Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep or a struggle. If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground, meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around. Do you not see the possibility in this? Disregarding the gun for the moment. There's a high probability of blood splatter when a knife is used on a person. If the culprit held the knife with a plastic bag around it, they could use the bag to catch any blood splatter from when they drew through the knife. Then by spreading a few more plastic bags around, mixing the bloody one with them, then arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two, they were able to conceal their presence. Ah! Looks like we've still got a long way to go in this investigation. Yes.
Objection!
Oh my god, they changed her objection line?
Wow, the judge looks so pissed. Listen, Callisto Yu's objection line sounded completely different in the original game. It's like she sounded a little more nonchalant, and here she sounds much more angry. What's going on with that?
What the heck's up with you, pal? Mr. Bad, I advise you to place... Wait, I need to get into the line. Mr. Bad, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest.
What?
What's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of this? Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates. Don't you dare. The detective claims he was there, standing in front of the door the entire time. And I have it on good authority that it was not all a giant... that it was all a giant lie. Uh-oh. Monsieur, I would ask that you please explain that last statement. And let his honor explain it himself. I saw it with my own eyes, I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway.
What?
See, Mr. Bad? So I ask you, why would a detective who was supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a lie?
Did you kill Miss Faraday?
No! Listen, I'm asking everyone here to use common sense. This version of Gumshoe is too incompetent to do any of what's mentioned here. He's too incompetent to miss the struggle, he's too incompetent to do all that stuff. The guy... like, a sloth would be quicker than him when it comes to connecting logic dots.
Ace Attorney Ace Attorney Investigations Gumshoe is, like, took such a knack to the head, and, like, that he's just, that it's really hard to see. And on one hand, yeah, he's younger, he's 26, he's a less vital version of him in his 30s, but still.
Of course not, sir! It would appear that the one who set this whole crime scene is that detective.
Francisca, look at him! Everybody, stop taking your stupid pills and use some common sense. I mean, it's common sense to me because I know Gumshoe and I know the game is not gonna incriminate Gumshoe, but yeah.
Which basically renders this testimony a complete lie and wholly invalid. It looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles. Ugh. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep or a struggle. Was that statement really a lie? Detective Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. Now spit out the truth or so help me.
I like that Bad kind of cares about Gumshoe. Yeah, he kind of chastises him, but it's more like he wants him to be good at his job as best as he can. I mean, Gumshoe was pretty good in the trilogy. I mean, he got the entire thing. He stood by Edgeworth. He did some badass things. Honestly, seeing how Gumshoe behaves in this investigation is really encouraging me to play the trilogy again just to see how much of his characterization is different here.
I haven't lied to anyone, sir. Honest. I was really there. I was in the hallway the whole time.
Hold it!
Detective Bad, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I am the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not? Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy. All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly. Perfection is the only virtue in this type of karma, after all. Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something.
And what's that?
What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about?
Why was it in the hallway?
Detective Gumshoe, why were you missing from the hallway for a span of time? Look, pal, like I said, I was there the whole time, okay? But there is a testimony against that. Miles Edgeworth, why are you wasting your time with a completely useless question? The only logical reason is why he was absent is that he was busy committing the crime. Anyone who says otherwise is a fool. Oh, should we say a buffoon? Maybe just with something else. Let's ask about the state of the hallways. Dr. Gumshoe, I take it that no one else was in the hallway at the time, correct? Huh? Oh, of course not, pal. You're being awfully defensive. Might you be hiding something from me? Watch your mouth, pal. You can't go around saying stuff like that about me without any evidence. I suppose you're right. I have no evidence at the point. Miles Edgeworth, how could you be losing the battle of wits with this detective? I mean, Detective Bad would be decent enough, but not this. You truly are in a state of the Lulu. I mean, it's weird. Like, what is the 2011 equivalent of saying the Lulu? Because the Lulu is really new. You're a disgrace! Maybe I should ask about something else. I mean, none of these is good. I suppose the one thing I'd like to clarify is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime. Motive, huh? Gumshoe? You got a grudge against Faraday or anything? I like how he only cares about Faraday, not Mackerel. No, sir, not me. Not a single bad thing about Mr. Faraday, sir. Is that a fact?
Objection!
You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe? I'm saying the truth. I am not lying. The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know. If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here. Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy. Because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation. You're serious, aren't you? The whiplash between laugh and seriousness. Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. You amuse me, so... it's kind of hard for me to, like, pinpoint how I want her to sound. It was about a week ago. I saw the detective get chewed up by livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit!" Hey, at least Edgeworth didn't start the cycle of salary cutting. A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. That's a reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for a perfect explanation? I don't think that's a little too petty. You totally misunderstand me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I could never hold a grudge. Quiet. We can't trust anything you say. Sir. There's nothing wrong with this motive she's proposed per se. But there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. So use perfect explanation. May not be so perfect at all. And I, student of Karma, is the only person who knows about perfection. And what is the motive? It was about a week ago. I saw a detective getting chewed up by livid Faraday in front of the precinct.
Hold it!
You just stood there watching this unfold in front of you. Yeah, I have to say, it was really enjoyable too. Wow, you bitch! That's really rude! But that's when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier. I knew to steer clear of him. No worry. I thought it was because I had something stuck on my face! This is just mean-spirited towards Gumshoe. No. But you do! Huh? What have I got stuck in my face? Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth, and... oh, and those ridiculous eyebrows! Those eyebrows are perfect, and you have no idea what you're talking about. I ask that you leave and go to jail forever! Never make fun of Gumshoe's eyebrows. Even in investigations, or at all. These eyebrows are absolutely fine. They're a bit bold, but they have a personality. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this man. Absolutely nothing. I cannot take this Gumshoe slander anymore. What? Oh man, messing with your head is just too much fun! This woman is really raising her in the shit list, huh? It's like, Cami Melee was a bitch because she wasn't a girl's girl, and like she was very much throwing her coworker under the bus. This woman is just mean. Very mean. Monsieur, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now. Sure, why not? A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. That's a reason enough for a grudge.
Hold it!
To cut a new detective's salary right off the bat like that. I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that common practice? Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you threaten to do that to me earlier too? Oh no! The shoes on the other foot! The gumshoes on the other foot! I suppose I did. It's only natural to cut a worthless detective's salary down to their actual worth. My father can even fire anyone, new or old, with a snap of its fingers. That's not very ethical, Francisco. Do you think maybe that's the reason enough for detectives to hate you people? Well, I guess. They really shouldn't cut people's face. They really shouldn't! It's so bad. Don't tell me Mr. Von Kommer cut your salary earlier. Oh no! Oh, that sucks. Well, not really, man.
Hold it!
You called your explanation perfect. Is it not your liking? Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards. Oh, is there something you want me to clarify in that case? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yeah, you probably should. Alright, if you could clear this one thing up for me. I mean, what was the motive for killing Mr. Rell? I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rell? His motive for killing Rell? Like I would know. If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt the incident would have occurred, would you agree? Is there anyone else who might have a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves? Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea. What? But that's impossible. She must know something. Wait. Can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh. Ugh, I didn't even do anything and you're already laughing away. Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as he had the motive to kill on one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway. Oh, would you care to explain your logic? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation. Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight or require... Or is that a requisite trait for being of karma? I mean, it kind of is. She's not wrong. Mine's Edgeworth. I demand you shut this rude woman up. We'll shut her up, alright. I wish you'd both be quiet just for 1 second. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you kids. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. All you really have is to establish that someone had a grudge against the one of the two men. Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other. Not a bad explanation, however. I wonder if that's really true. Is there nearly no one out there with a grudge against both men? I should take another hard look on the evidence from this morning's case. The second KG8 incident, as people were calling it, involving an embassy staff member. And the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. Is there really something else I'm overlooking, or is someone... I mean,
It's probably Manny coaching, to be honest.
I'm just gonna save up and present the evidence. I mean, it's mostly the fact that, like, it's probably Manny coaching, isn't it? At least that's my hunch.
Objection!
And I'm correct? Miss Yu, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, it is because you'd rather not bring this person up. What do you mean? We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was the suspect of the original KG8 case. And a member of the Condopian embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. Manny Cochin. I'm trying to think what the pun behind Manny Cochin is. I might look it up later just to see. That's right, the very man who came to visit you early out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Condopian embassy staff, Mr. Rell. And the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that the Cochin had no reason to kill these men? Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two. You covered for me, pal! Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all. Don't get ahead of yourself, I'm still in my Brat era. And he's still a suspect, makes no mistake about that. I think my explanation was better. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony, these are the only things I wish to hold. But I didn't do it! You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any of this leak out. You want to investigate Cochin? You just be wasting your time. And why is that? Cochin was up in the viewing gallery watching the trial. Or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived. And since the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe. I suppose so. No way. Come on, Detective Bad. You've got to believe me, sir. I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir. But alas, it was not meant to be. I never took a single step into this room, sir. Okay, then what are you saying? There was someone else who passed through the hallway? No, there's no one else, sir. And why should I believe you didn't do it? That is one incredibly foolish detective. Standing right in front of the crime scene all by himself. As good as a confession of guilt. It's as good as a confession of guilt. I have to admit it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you think he would, at the very least, offer up I just spaced out while on duty or the like. Come on, Gumshoe, time for your interrogation. Aw. Detective Bad. Meanwhile, the judge is still breathing intensely. Miles Edgeworth. I will go on ahead and report this to Papa. And as they say, that is... And as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Ho ho ho. Now it's just me and Callisto. Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh? Before we do, monsieur, there is something I'd like to speak with you about. What is it? Well, first of all, stop laughing at my face. It's very impolite. So, what did you want to ask me about? The current case of the murdered Condopian Embassy staff member. I've heard that people have begun calling it the second KG8 incident. Only among you law enforcement types. And, what about it? I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG8 incident. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers. No, I believe you know much more. Since you are directly tied to its KG8 incident. I'd appreciate if you'd stop it with the false accusations. Baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know? I do, but I also know I do have a leg to stand on here. Think you can stop making ultra serious face in front of me?
Wow, this woman. She's a real piece of work.
If you could please stop laughing in just for 1 second. I'm not going to make any headway like this. I'm just going to have to show her exactly how related to the KG8 incident she is. We just present the overview. Monsieur, I believe that I have proof your connection to this KG8 incident. That file as your proof? Very well then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG8 incident? Your connection to the KG8 incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will know that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me that with a straight face that you are not related to this case? Sorry, but we're not related. Just kidding. You asked the question with such a serious look on your face, and then I couldn't help but. Oh, she loves doing her laughing. Monsieur, I ask that you please tell me the truth. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities in a mono group was my sister, CCU, as I thought. And she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial by Manny Cochin. But because he was tried once and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life completely carefree. I mean, you could always appeal, but yeah. All because of the lack of evidence. No, I heard the evidence was that to convict him did exist. What? I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Cochin's trial was over. Apparently a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence. Then the evidence had been tampered with. Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? The smuggling ring being run out of the Amano group by one of its secretaries. They bailed Mr. Cochin out, turns out. They were in league with each other all along. I'm surprised the Zaibatsu helped the Batsu guy. How big is that smuggling ring? Was it a large operation? I don't really know. Which is why I want to become the lead defense. On this case, that people are calling the second KG8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much. I know. You mean you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring? I don't know what to think. Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier? Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently he only found out that I was a defense lawyer in this case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi, and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad. Wow. I think this guy should go to jail just for that attitude. What's that supposed to mean? Oh boy, stop it with this scary face already. I'm fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face. The way she talks about slapping him as she laughs is kind of creepy.
This woman is a little too nonchalant, if you ask me. But it's just as Mr. Bat said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around and people in the gallery claimed that he was in the seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh? That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life. Edgeworth, you really are too serious for your own good. Part of it is the autism, Callisto. The lack of reading the room is the autism. That and the special interest in the Steel Samurai. There's only autism going in this man's brain. I don't make the rules. The community has claimed him long ago. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we? Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal with my own way as well. You'll see. Look at you with your game fans on, ready to go. I'm not making such face. Did you know, laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth? Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time? I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of this world are found guilty. I have no need for laughter. You can't spell... Well, that really puts the edge in Edgeworth. Huh. There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I've gotta get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up. The KG8 incident and its murder investigation. It is my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus that detective, Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying, even though the lie is hurting his chances. Clearly this case is far from over, but whether or not that detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Mr. Von Karma, I swear to uphold your honorable name, or my name isn't Miles Edgeworth. Man, Bratworth was really Von Karma pilled back in the day. Ridiculously so. Callisto Yu joins the fray. We can make a smash edit of that, you know? Okay, I'm going to get myself something to drink, and I'll be back in a bit. And then I'll share my thoughts on the case so far. Okay.
back. Some thoughts about this case so far. It's a little too mean-spirited of Gumshoe, I'm not gonna lie. But, I do like how it ties together to, the previous cases beforehand. And yeah. And the Franziska Edgeworth dynamic is really cute. I'm a big fan of getting more of that content. It's good fan service, to be honest. But my throat is fucking dry today. I think I'll continue a little more.
So, what is to become of the trial of the Condopian Embassy staff member's murder? Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead. The case will be dismissed. In other words, the trial here ends here prematurely. Looks like you'll have to wait just a bit longer for your big debut. And his big debut that happens in Trials and Tribulation is equally as tragic. I suppose it can't be helped. The evidence of this trial will be transferred to you in a little while. So, what do you think of the murder of the Condopian Evidence staff member? And the murderers of the Mr. Faraday and Mr. Wren? What an outrageous circus it has all become. That Faraday brought it all upon himself with his naivete. An outrageous circus, right, sir? I grow weary of this topic, Edgeworth. I will have you assigned to a different case. Papa, you'll come and watch my courtroom debut next, won't you? I'll consider it. Poor Franziska. So, if I may, please allow me to continue with my investigation. Whatever for. I know that there's already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Brat. However, there is not enough evidence to prove that he was the one who committed the crime. I'd like to continue investigating in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt. The perfect proof? Don't make me laugh. A worthless person like you has no right to claim such a thing as perfection. Wow. That's extremely harsh of you, Edgeworth. I mean, that's extremely harsh of him. Yeah, one sec. Yeah, I'm just asking a friend because one of my followers, Gamercore, mentioned in a conversation that apparently in the original localization, Von Karma's cruelty was a bit exaggerated towards Edgeworth, which is not something I actually knew. That's really rude. Like, man, a lot of characters in this here are just super mean. Papa? Who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I were competing to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate a real crime scene is a really rare opportunity. It would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree? If you want to investigate this case this much, then do as you wish.
then you're allowing us to continue.
In court, your top priority is to win, and a solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It will be very interesting otherwise. I'm returning home now. Edgeworth, Franziska, see to it I'm not disturbed, save for the results of your competition. Yes, sir. Of course, Papa.
Franziska, thank you. She didn't do it for you, she did it for herself.
What are you thinking me for? Your logic earlier was built that scruffy detectives lie. That means that the competition is still on. Yes, just as you wished. I wouldn't let you get off so easily. Now then, let's see how well you fare on the investigation from here, Miles Edgeworth. I know I don't have enough information yet, so my first order of business will be to question anyone involved with this case.
Man, my throat is killing me.
But let's talk to goofy cops beforehand. Sir, nothing to report, sir. Is there no one who will make this man take responsibility for his actions on the job? Looks like we'll have no choice but to report this to Papa. Then this guard will have a fun in the walking nighttime after being awakened from his dream. Actually, let's not. I kind of feel sorry for him now.
Wow, if there's something investigations shows is just the amount of hold that Manfred and Karma has in the legal system of Japanifornia. The guy, like, the amount of authority he has is ridiculous. I can't stop the water, sir! Seems the man who was here earlier was broken by drinking from it too much. A bunch of fools who pretended not to see the foolishly foolish accents of a foolish fool. Well then, why don't we lend the officer a hand? As if I should have anything to do with this. Besides, that water-drinking fool's mouth is the thing that officer should be covering. Let's give that officer a description of the water guzzler later. She seems to have quite the grudge. It sounds to me like someone who wanted a drink. She wanted a little drinky poo. Francisco wanted a little drinky poo. And not pay for it. Honestly, there's nothing worse than a busted down water fountain. Wow, this thing is so incredibly detailed. My inner modeling fanboy is impressed. I'm not so exactly a fan of plastic models per se, but even I can sense the quality of this model. I simply cannot comprehend what that man can feel so much love for such a trifle. Oh, I see. You really are a disciple of my father. So you would do well to guard yourself against an interest in such unproductive things. 5 years later, Edgeworth just gets into the Steel Samurai. Like, very hardcore. Yes, perhaps I should take up whipping people like you, like the young lady over here. Or maybe horse riding. It's an incredibly detailed model, isn't it? I heard that it cost as much as it cost to build the courthouse itself. What was the point of making such an expensive model? I felt the exact same way as well upon hearing it. Ugh, it's so hard to understand just foolishness. Agreed. It wasn't me, I tell ya. I didn't do anything wrong. Yes, I understand. Just calm down, okay, buddy? I doubt I'll get anything useful from the detective when he's this agitated. You know what I miss about the DS version? when you played in the DS version, you also had the ability to like see the portraits, which was really nice. What does Callisto have to tell me? Monsieur. Oh, it's you, Edgeworth. Who are you? Wait, you were in the crime scene just now, weren't you? You should be disbarred for not knowing who I am. I am Franziska von Karma, and I am about to become the successor to the family name. About to. I guess that means that's all for now. You're still just another kid. In which case, it's only natural that I didn't know who you are. What? Why are you whipping me? Because I don't whip women. Anyway, it looks like they're planning to hold the evidence a bit longer. If there's one thing I can't stand is waiting. I'm terribly sorry, but I have a few more questions to ask of you. Look at you, eyebrows scrunched with lines on your forehead. And that to ask of you. Callisto, he's doing his best. Please stop bullying my autistic man-child. I'm begging you. What exactly is so funny? Sorry, I'm just bad at dealing with the super serious atmosphere. Apparently they failed to teach you proper behavior at crime scene at law school. Oh, I feel much better now. So, what is it you want to talk about? I'd like to inquire as to where you were at the time of the murder. We were in the defendant lobby number 1 the whole time, up until we heard the gunshot. And by we, I mean Mr. Bad. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him yourself. You were with Detective Bad. Why? We had a little something to discuss, that's all. So I take it that you are acquaintances with Detective Bad. Yeah, he was the head in charge of the KG8 incident. Detective Bad is also related to that incident? That's right. He was the one who was supposed to protect my sister, Cece. But you know how it turned out, don't you, Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth! I have no idea what the two of you are talking about! I want to be important as well! Keep me in the loop! That sounded a bit Italian. I've heard of the KG8 incident from my papa. But how does that case relate to you, Miss Yu? The victim of that case, CCU, was my little sister. You're making that super serious face again! I'm fine, really. I just make it a point to rabbit some salt in his unwounded pride every time I see him. There is a term for that. I think it's 0 in humanity? No. I'm gonna look it up. 0 in human relations. I don't know, like, I'm translating a sentence from Hebrew. Yeah, it is 0 in human relations with this woman. Yeah, no, the woman is creepy and rude. Oh, speaking of Mr. Bad, he and Mr. Faraday, I'd say they meet up just about every single time the Atagarasu made a move. It was practically given that these two would meet up at every one of those crime scenes. I see. You did mention he was in charge of the Atagarasu investigation earlier. You should ask her what she knows about the Atagarasu in more detail.
You claimed at the time of the murder you were with Detective Brat. But don't lawyers usually discuss the trial with your clients during a recess? We do, and that's what I was planning to do. One sec. But Mr. Faraday was being rather threatening, and he dragged Mr. Rell away. Yeah, I'm just looking for something. Yeah, I just need to book something before I forget. Nice. Okay, but Mr. Faraday was being... After that, Mr. Bat came to lobby number 1, so we just stayed there and talked. What did you talk with Mr. Detective Bat about? Nothing interesting. I just insulted him some. Talked about how he and the trial was going, and then I insulted him some more. Bloody! When she's not laughing, her mouth seemingly spews nothing but insults. It really is. Okay. Anyways, Mr. Bad and I were in defendant lobby number 1 when the murders occurred. So I really can't tell you anything about the hallway or lobby number 2. I see. Let's talk about Mackerel. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your client, Mr. Mackerel. Now, your client first claimed to be the Atagarassu, is that correct? Yeah. Once I heard it was the Atagarassu that had made off with the evidence from KG8, I began to ask Mr. Rell all sorts of questions, but to no avail. Turns out Mr. Rell was not the Atagarassu. He just made that up. He made it up. Mr. Rell's crime was caught on tape by the security cameras. But there is no footage of him sneaking into Condopian Embassy himself. It's like, hold on for just 1 second. Then you mean to say that you knew he was not the real Atagarassu? And that he was another cold-blooded killer? And you were ready to defend him? Yes, that's right. I see. So a defense lawyer is actually just someone whose job is to cover for criminals. Wait until you, see Phoenix. In 5 years, he'll probably change your mind a bit. That's why defense lawyers are so detestable. But they are no match for us von Karmas. I don't believe it! You're serious! Why don't you save that face for something really worth being serious about? And Edgeworth, do you remember what I said earlier? I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hand for leads regarding the KG8 incident, alright? And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer. Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rell was to be his lawyer. I had no intentions of covering for him ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. I'm sorry. Forgive my rashness. And lastly, the Atagarassu. Miss Yu, I was wondering if you could tell me about the Atagarassu. The Atagarassu, huh? I don't really know much about that character myself. But I do get a lot of consultation requests from companies to defend them. Requests from companies? The Atagarassu isn't some petty thief out for money, you know. Huh. Alright then, perhaps the Atagarasu is in the business of stealing people's lives. You're not very funny, or are you, little Miss Von Karma? Wow! This woman has something against the 13-year-olds, I guess. Franziska, be careful about who you whip. She's careful in your suit. Ah! See? Girls knew what she was doing, and she also supports women's wrongs. There, I chose carefully, just like you wanted. I would laugh as well, honestly. That was hilarious, little missy. Of course it was. For everyone but Edgeworth. What's wrong with these two women? Why doesn't my pain give them delight? So in the end, what is the Atagarasu? I have to say, I've never even heard of such a thief when I was in Germany. The Atagarasu deals in information. Namely, in digging out dirt out of blackroom dealings and the like of companies. The Atagarasu is a vigilante who steals such info and then makes it public for all to see. Vigilante or not, this person sounds like just another criminal to me. I suppose you can put it that way too. But either way, I get a lot more clients now thanks to that thief. Sounds like Miss Yu is profiting nicely. I suppose I've gotten all I can from Miss Yu. I should move on and speak with Detective Gumshoe now. Will they let Detective Gumshoe? Hey, it's you, pal. You're here. And she's here as well. As am I. I don't think you needed to whip him to let him know that. I didn't do it, pal. I swear on my honor as a detective, I really didn't. Your words are useless. I place my trust only in the evidence, detective. Once the investigation is fully over, and should we find that you are the killer, there will be no mercy to be had for you. Have a heart, pal. But you're not worried, right? After all, you have nothing to worry about if you really are innocent, that is. That's right. Hey, pal, go on, do your perfect investigation. Get the real killer for me, will you? I would have done so even if you hadn't not requested me to, detective. Let's talk about motive. So you and Mr. Faraday had a small meeting last week, did you? And what exactly did he do to make him so angry? I just asked Detective Bad the same thing myself, pal. Turns out he was mad at me because of my various days as a detective. I reported in my usual post instead of Criminal Affairs Detective Department. Aw. By the time I got down to Criminal Affairs, I was really, really late. And that's when he gave me that huge speech. I remember doing the same exact thing in elementary school. On the first day of school every year, I'd always wind up going to my old classroom. How pathetic for a detective to be comparable to the mere school child. That's a very normal mistake. You claim to be standing guard in front of the door into lobby number 2 during the recess. However, when did you receive the order to do so and from whom? Earlier at around 3:20 and from Detective Bad Pal. Today's trial took a really crazy turn, so I was told to make sure nothing happened to Mr. Faraday. And yet, something did happen to him, correct? It looks like it was a total waste of manpower to assign you to guard duty. Ow! Your words sting worse than your whip, pal. So it was Detective Bad who ordered him to stand God, huh? And what is the next step? Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me? Nope, not a thing, pal. In that case, allow us to take a look at what you're carrying on your personage. Wait! You can't do that! There's nothing of any particular value here. Well, my handcuffs and badge were confiscated by Detective Badge, so, you know. And what is that open envelope I see sticking out of your coat pocket? Ah! Hands off, pal! Just show it to us already! Yo! Annual bonus check within $5 total, except there's no check inside. You've had your look, now give it back, pal. It's my first bonus as a brand new detective. I just got it and cashed it today. I had literally no cash on me up until he did, you know? So the envelope is really special to me. Now give it back! You don't need rubbish like this. Don't worry, we'll throw it away for you later. Why are you bullying this man? How could you? He may... Listen, Gumshoe may be a suspect, but these two are just so mean. I mean... I'm sorry, but I need... I think I asked him just about everything I needed to. No, wait, since he became a suspect, there's one piece of evidence that should be confirmed. Officer, as you wait a second, I still have one thing I'd like to reconfirm with Detective Gumshoe. Understood, but please make it brief, sir. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. You must confirm whether or not his testimony about the crime scene occurred is the truth. It's a bookshelf. What's this? Judge's Trial Exchange Log. It appears to be a journal where various judges share their thoughts and ideas. The real daily lives of our judges are laid out here on these pages. There's nothing about the court in here. It's just a page after page of unrelated drivel. Judging by the content, they are very enthusiastic about the courthouse's daily menu. And it would appear that the fried oysters are a favorite. I have no use for such foolishly fool words from this foolish crowd. Someone please assure me that this is not the true state of the country's judiciary. Let's present the testimony. You told me earlier that you heard no sound other than the gunshot out in the hallway. Is that correct? No mistake about it, pal. And you are also claiming that no one passed through the hallway either. Is that also correct? Yep, not even a single ant passed through that hall while I was on duty. You do realize the lie you're telling me is only making life more difficult for yourself. Huh? Oh. But it's true! I didn't see anyone go through the hallway, and I didn't hear anything else, pal. I bet the killer found a way to kill the two guys that's beyond what I can even imagine. He's definitely protecting someone with that attitude. It's like it's not him being stupid, he's just holding back. So he intends to continue telling this ridiculous lie. But why would he do so given the situation he's in? I believe a thorough investigation of the hallway in front of the defendant lobby is in order. Luca's here. Ah! You! Ah! He got kicked by a child. And then she ran away. How could you have not noticed that coming? Wasn't that the child they changed money from earlier?
Thanks! That's exactly what I needed.
Kids. Can someone sometimes be so cruel? Kids can be cruel, Edgeworth. It looks like she dropped something. A Swiss roll. A courthouse special Swiss roll. Maybe we should arrest this girl. She might turn out to be a valuable lead. I believe some sort of punishment may need to be dealt with the next time we meet. The courthouse special Swiss rolls. Courthouse special Swiss rolls. Is this being served somewhere on the premises? I don't recall seeing a restaurant of any sort in this courthouse. I so doubt you'd find junk food like this in a restaurant menu, Francisco. Well then, where do they sell these things, huh? A convenience store, I suppose. Well, I'm sure there's no convenience store in this courthouse, Miles Edgeworth. Where in the world did this come from?
I mean, guys, you saw the vending machine. I believe I asked all I need of this man. For Detective Brat and the judge. We have to confirm who is correct, the judge or that scruff face, right? I suppose we should inspect the hallway in front of lobby number 2 next then. I suppose so. Shall we head on over, Franziska? So, let's head over there. And I think this will be enough for today. The hour is almost 11, which is my usual finishing time. And we played quite a bit of the game. From one hallway investigation to the next. So. Ace Attorney Investigations, Turnabout Reminiscence. Honestly, pretty solid so far, but man, all of the characters in here are kind of mean towards Gumshoe. And yeah, he's a bit of an imbecile, but he doesn't really deserve it. I mean, not as much as he does. Okay, right now it doesn't seem like we got anything new. But yeah, overall, I think my main favorite thing here is the interaction between Franziska and Edgeworth. And yeah, like, Callisto U is certainly a huge bitch. But it is interesting how, she is somewhat willing to cooperate once you saw that, like, once you gave her a reason to. Brat is awesome. I like how he was forced into the babysitter role. And he's a badass and a cold guy, but he's also a bit of a softie. And I want to believe he wants the best for Gumshoe. At least the best as he can offer. Why is the buff guy angry? Oh my gosh. Hello, Sirrisberry. I'm so sorry that I just noticed your response. When did you get here? I'm guessing the buff guy, Gumshoe, was angry. Mostly because he was, Wow, I just had a bunch of chats and I completely didn't notice them. That sucks. Is anyone home? Is this thing on? Oh yeah, explode things. Unfortunately, it seems like my, I'm gonna catch up with the stream, but I'm sorry it took me so long. It seems like the Twitch app has been kind of, rude to me. When did you guys get here? Yeah, no, I can't really see. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, no, I don't know what happened. It just, the computer decided to completely betray me. It's like, I couldn't even see it in the... Oh, why is the buff guy angry? The poor cop can't get a drink, the fountain's not working. Yeah, mostly that, but also because he got arrested for murder. And hello, friends. My first order of business is to unshit myself. Thanks for wondering. Damn it! Why are you like the loop? Yeah, wow. Is anyone home? Is this thing on? I'm so sorry I didn't notice the chat. It was just, completely, I think the Twitch chat, like, it didn't catch up for whatever reason. I don't understand why. And I was, basically looking from the phone. But it do be like that sometimes, which is unfortunate. But thank you for seeing the stream to its completion. I hope you all had a really nice, weekend. Peaceful as it possibly can be. And I'm gonna call this, and I'm gonna end this stream. We'll be continuing, the upcoming Saturday, the same day as usual. And yeah, stay frosty until then.